There's a hard reality about attraction that most men just don't want to face. Instead, they spend years chasing women, memorizing pickup lines, obsessing over their style or status, thinking that's what will finally make them irresistible. But what if I told you, the real reason 95.7% of women feel drawn to certain men has nothing to do with looks, money, or even smooth talk? It goes way deeper than that. This truth? It's not flashy. It's not easy. And it's definitely not something you can fake your way into. But once you understand it, and actually start living it, everything shifts. Women will start leaning in. They'll want to be near you without knowing why. They'll feel a pull toward you that goes beyond logic. Because this isn't about trying to impress. It's about becoming the kind of man who naturally attracts. In this video, we're diving into the raw, overlooked truth that explains why nearly every woman is wired to respond to a very specific type of energy, and why most men will never figure it out. Let's get into it. 1. The man who can walk away wins every time. There's one core principle of attraction that most guys never figure out. The man who's not afraid to walk away is the one who holds all the cards. Ask yourself this: what makes something valuable? Is it the thing that's always there, always eager, constantly trying to prove itself? Or is it the thing that stands on its own, unbothered, confident, and not chasing anyone's approval? Scarcity creates desire. That's just how we're wired. And when it comes to women, that wiring is no different. They don't chase the guy who's always available. They chase the guy who feels just out of reach. The one who doesn't need them, but chooses them. The moment you show her that her approval doesn't define you, everything changes. You're no longer another guy hoping to be picked. You become the mystery, the challenge, the one she wants to figure out. Most guys don't get this. They cling. They text back instantly. They bend over backwards trying to keep her happy, hoping not to lose her. But in doing that, they lose themselves. And with that, they lose their value. Now flip that. The man who can walk away creates a psychological shift in her mind. She starts to wonder, why isn't he chasing me? Why does he seem so grounded, so unaffected? Did I get him wrong? And just like that, the roles reverse. She starts chasing you. Because real attraction isn't about needing her. It's about being okay without her. It's about showing, not telling, that your world doesn't revolve around her mood, her attention, or her validation. That's the kind of man women can't ignore. That's why the guys who seem least interested often become the most desired. Not because they're cold or mean, but because they've made peace with walking away. They don't hand over their power. They don't make her their entire purpose. They know they're the prize. And once you start thinking that way, once you really own it, everything changes. You'll stop chasing. She'll start respecting you. And if she senses she could lose you, that's when you become unforgettable. 2. The man who knows how to playfully challenge her stays in her head. There's a little-known truth the most magnetic men understand. Women don't want everything handed to them on a silver platter. They're not drawn to men who lay it all out, who over-explain their feelings, who make it too easy. What really captures their attention? Tension. The slow burn. The unspoken pull. And no one does it better than the man who knows how to flirt with finesse. He doesn't try too hard. He doesn't lay it on thick. He walks the perfect line between interest and mystery. He makes her laugh, but keeps her wondering. He shows he wants her, but never acts like he needs her. Because when you learn the art of teasing, you trigger something primal. Before she even realizes it, her body is reacting, her heart beats faster, her curiosity is lit. Teasing, when done right, isn't just playful. It's addictive. You create a rhythm she can't predict. And that unpredictability? It taps into her dopamine system, the same chemical responsible for desire, for craving. It's why she'll think about you hours later. It's why she'll keep checking her phone. Not because you gave her everything, but because you gave her just enough. You tease, then pull back. You compliment her, then flip it. You think you're charming? I'm not convinced yet. You let her feel wanted but never fully reassured. You keep her slightly off balance, in the best way. This is the power of push-pull. The art of giving her a taste, then taking a step back. And it's not just in what you say. It's in your delivery, your timing, your body language. She reaches for your hand, you pause, smirk, then let her have it. You lean in like you're about to kiss her, then whisper, "Not yet." That tension? It builds anticipation. And anticipation is the fuel of desire. Most guys do one of two things. They either try way too hard, showering her with praise, gifts, and attention, hoping it'll win her over. It won't. Or they play it too safe, so careful, so polite that they bore her into checking out. But the guy who keeps her curious, who keeps the energy playful and unpredictable, that's the man who lingers in her mind. Because when you know how to tease her just right, she's not just attracted to you, she's hooked. 3. The man who makes her feel like a woman can have her without saying a word. There's a quiet power most men never discover. A magnetic force that doesn't come from looks, status, or the right pickup line, but from something deeper. Something most never even think to master. Here's the truth. When a man knows how to make a woman feel feminine, completely, unapologetically, and instinctively, he never has to chase. He becomes the thing she craves. You see, women spend their days in their heads, calculating, planning, second-guessing, trying to stay in control. But when she's near a man who makes her drop all of that, she doesn't think, she feels. She relaxes. She softens. She melts into the moment. And from that moment forward, he owns her attention. Most men don't get this. They perform. They impress. They overthink. But the ones she dreams about, they don't chase, they radiate. Because deep attraction isn't about effort. It's about energy. It's about presence. That unshakable calm confidence that says, "I don't need you to want me, but I know you do." This kind of man doesn't say much. He doesn't brag. He doesn't rush. He holds eye contact, just long enough to make her breath catch. He speaks slowly with clarity, no stammering, no need to fill the silence. He moves like he owns the ground he walks on. And without ever trying, he pulls her in. It's in the small things. A slight touch on her lower back as he walks past. A lingering brush of his fingers when he hands her something. That knowing smile that says, "I see you." Tiny moments. Subtle. But they shake her to her core. Because most men play it safe. They stiffen up. They don't want to come off too strong, so they come off as nothing at all. But this kind of man? He awakens something in her that she doesn't even understand. He doesn't just make her feel desired. He makes her feel alive. Safe yet on edge. Relaxed yet completely alert. Like she's standing still in a storm she doesn't want to escape. And that's the man she thinks about when she's alone. That's the man who lingers in her mind long after the moment has passed. That's the man who never needs to chase, because women line up to be near that feeling again. Master this presence, and you won't have to win her over. She'll want to be undone by you. For the man who can set her on fire without saying a word. There's a certain kind of man, one who doesn't need to speak in order to make her pulse quicken. He doesn't use explicit lines or make bold, obvious moves. Instead, he plays with silence, with space, with presence. And before she even realizes it, her body's responding. Her breath deepens. Her focus sharpens. Her thoughts begin to race. What's his secret? Unspoken chemistry. Not the clumsy, premature kind that feels forced or awkward, but the kind that builds slowly. The kind that sneaks up on her like a flame that catches without warning. Men who master this art never need to chase. Because once she feels that quiet spark, she's the one leaning in. She's the one wondering. She's the one hoping he doesn't stop. See, most guys think the key to turning a woman on is dirty talk. But real tension? It's created before a single word is spoken. It's in the way you hold her gaze, not for too long, but just enough to make her heartbeat skip. It's the calm in your energy, the way you take your time, like you know exactly what she's feeling. It's the softness in your voice, lowered just enough to pull her closer. It's the pause you take before a simple phrase like, "Is that right?" And suddenly she's holding her breath. It's the barely there contact. The way your arm brushes hers when you walk side by side. The subtle way your fingers rest a second longer than expected. The way you guide her lightly through a doorway, firm, intentional, in control. These are the moments that send electricity through her system. Here's what most men miss. Women don't want everything laid out like a script. They don't want to hear what you want right away. They want to feel it, slowly, intensely, almost accidentally. It's about tension. It's about making her wonder, what's he thinking? Is he going to kiss me? Why does this feel so intense? Because once she's wondering, she's already wanting. And once she's craving, it's already over. She's yours. The men who try too hard, who go too fast, who talk too much, they lose the moment. But the man who knows how to hold back, who uses restraint as his power, who lets her imagination fill in the blanks, that man doesn't just turn her on. He haunts her thoughts, long after the moment ends. If this video brought you value, consider liking and subscribing. Until next time, remain disciplined, remain strong, and above all, remain in control.